GM, we're back. Second day of Token 2049. This time I'm with Artur from Stock Unlock. Brother, how you doing, man?
Good, man. You?
I'm doing amazing. Bro, I actually can't believe it's the first time we've actually met. We've known each other for a few years now.
Yeah.
In all places. And just before we went live, turns out we were both at Bitcoin Vegas.
And we missed each other somehow.
We missed each other there and then. But listen, every good story ends with people meeting at some point. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Listen, brother, I'm always interested because your community is huge. And you have, a lot of some of the best traders, I've been in contact with in many communities. So, I mean, like, how has it looked from, one, your point of view, how the market has been moving, and then how has it looked from the community's point of view in terms of how they've been trading over the last couple of months?
Yeah. I think the market is a little bit different this cycle, especially with, all of the banks and the institutions now being involved. You're starting to see Bitcoin move a bit differently. You're starting to see the altcoins kind of move a bit differently. And I'm starting to see the cycle starting to last a bit longer, because before it was like about a year and a half, and then bear market in terms of crypto. And now we're starting to see a bit longer push.
Yeah. Okay. So then in terms of where we think, because I think the banks coming in was a big, a big benefit to how crypto has been traded. But all of a sudden, I think we've seen flows going into like the Bitcoin and other assets, etc.
Right.
And we're starting to move a lot more than, to me, it feels like we're moving a lot more like stocks, even though there's been a correlation for years. The stocks have always been moving away, but now I can see the way Bitcoin and price action moves. It's changed like quite drastically over the last like 2-3 years. Like, have you felt that quite effectively?
Yeah. So, usually they would follow each other pretty on par, unless there was like some major catalyst. For example, when they started to allow the banks to purchase Bitcoin and put it on their asset books, that was a huge catalyst for crypto. Or when the Bitcoin ETF got approved, that was a huge catalyst for crypto. And when we saw those huge catalysts, then they started to trade a bit differently. But when there's not a big catalyst or something crazy going on in the news, it tends to follow the stock market pretty closely. Specifically for like Bitcoin and Ethereum, the altcoins are kind of all over the place still right now.
I mean, you mentioned about altcoins, right? I feel like everybody's been looking for that glorious like 2021 altcoin season that we had.
Yeah.
And I feel like we haven't had that kind of run up yet. Do you foresee one coming, or what's your take on the current altcoin cycle?
That's a really good question, and I hear that a lot. You remember in the 2021 cycle and the 22 cycle, the most common phrase was wag me, wag me, wag me. We're all going to make it. You don't really hear that anymore. And a lot of people are waiting for this alt cycle. Well, I don't think we're in the wag me phase anymore, but let me expand on that. So I study specifically just charts in TA. There's two things that I really like to look at, which is, three things. Total 2, and total 3. Total is the entire market cap of all crypto. Total 2 is the entire market cap of all crypto excluding Bitcoin. And then total 3 is the market cap of all altcoins. And everyone is waiting for the altcoin season, but it's here, and it's already starting to pass, because if you look at total 2, which is all the altcoins in ETH, that hit new all-time highs just a few months ago. Yeah. And if you look at total 3, that just hit 1.17 trillion, and the previous all-time high was 1.14 trillion. So what's going on is all of these coins, for example, not to bash on the gaming coins, those coins are nowhere near their all-time highs. But we have the strong coins like Ondo, Solana, AVAX crushing, and then pushing. And now you're really starting to see the community and the ecosystem invest into top quality projects. So it's no longer wag me. Like, you can't throw your money at everything and expect it to pop, because alt season did come. The alt market hit new all-time highs, but 90% of the coins just stay dead. And the top projects are hitting new highs or trading well.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think you raised probably, in my opinion, one of like the most important points. Anybody who doesn't know about the different market caps of 1, 2, and 3 with Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin without then ETH with altcoins and just the altcoins.
Right.
Like those 3 charts, in my opinion, some of the most important charts to see TA and technical analysis wise.
Right.
And I think you raised a very good point that many people never ever highlighted and should be highlighting is many of those charts have hit all-time highs.
Yeah.
And the good coins, the good quality projects have been capped. They've done well. They've done good.
Right.
And it's a shame because in 2017 you could throw money and make money.
Yeah.
In 2021 you could do
Right.
the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I foresee another time where you could just throw money at anything and it will just stick.
Yeah, unless we have another pandemic and stuff drops like 50, 60%.
The stimmies,
right?
my friend.
Yeah.
The stimmies back out.
You know, like look at coins like Hyperliquid, new all-time highs. But people are like, what's up with ApeCoin? What's up with Gala? Or what's up with, like Shiba? Or like these coins, like, if your project is not good anymore, I don't see it surviving or hitting new all-time highs again.
Yeah. I completely agree. Maybe to go down a little bit of a more of a guilty path for you. The last couple of months have been quite choppy, and I know you're generally just a trader, so it doesn't matter when you trade the chart. Has there been anything that's been a little bit more on the riskier side that you've taken, a win or loss?
Let's see, wins or loss. Man, so I don't know. So for anyone that doesn't know, I was raised in Vegas. I lived in Vegas my whole life. I started gambling when I was 17. So I've really steered away from the gambling aspect of trading, and I try to not take the crazy risk anymore. And the risk that I do take is just throwing like just a small bag into some of the meme coins. And I'd say I've thrown like a soul at each like new meme coin that comes out, and I just get like rinsed in it.
Completely wrecked.
For example, this was in February. Me and my partner Justin were on the phone, and I threw 1 soul into 1 coin, and I turned 1 soul into like 20 soul. And then a coin came out called Charmander, and I love Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna throw 10 soul at this one, dude. As soon as I made the buy, they rugged my 10 soul immediately.
Wasn't so like at a very decent level back in February as well? Like
It was, dude. It was like $2,000 just evaporated, and they didn't even wait for any other buys. They literally just took my 10 soul and vanished. I was like, dang.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem very like Pokemon friendly to me, like in any sense of the word, mate. Completely unfair.
Did not catch them all. On
That's
that one.
amazing. That's amazing. I mean, you mentioned something about Nevada, and we were at Bitcoin Vegas, and everybody was super bullish there in terms of obviously Bitcoin, obviously with the Donald Trumps, etc.
Right.
How do you foresee maybe the next like 3-4 years with Donald Trump being in power and the Trump family being at the forefront of trying to push crypto, because they're heavily invested?
Right.
Do you think we're in a
Big investor.
in a free zone in the next 3-4 years for his term? Like, what's your take on that politically?
So, stock market wise, we're about 3 years into the bull run. Crypto wise, we're about a year and a half into the run. All politicals aside, I think we can all agree Trump loves money. The guy is a businessman, so I think he'll do everything he can to make it a bull market. That being said, we are nearing historically like a sell-off, but I do think before he is out of office, we will see new all-time highs again, and we will see another bull run for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I sort of see the same. I think, at one point I heard the other day that the Trump family had more money in crypto in the billions than they had in real estate, which is insane because that's a real estate family from the very beginning. So it's like now their investment is just mainly crypto, and they want to keep that investment. Yep. And I'm assuming they probably don't want to pay as much tax as they think they're going to want to be able to pay on that. So are we in a crime-free area, or is it sort of like keep your heads level, be careful of the next administration?
Yeah.
Or do you think maybe there's so much money involved now that even the next case of politicians, they're going to be happy to accept anything from the crypto bros?
I wouldn't say crime-free, but we're definitely starting to see more regulation, which is kind of good and bad. It makes it harder for crypto traders that want to be anonymous to stay that way. I think one of the biggest catalysts that could come with the Trump administration office is if they do say no taxes on crypto, because right now what's happening is kind of similar to like a brain drain where all the crypto money is leaving the U.S. to get into tax havens. Why not bring that money back into the U.S. By, you know, lowering the taxes, man? Because, you know, I trade, when I'm in my trades, I'm in there for 2-3 days to 3-4 weeks tops. That's my sweet spot. That's capital gains. That's the 37% that I do not want to pay.
Yeah.
So right now, specifically, I cash out in different countries myself to try to avoid that tax burden. So why not bring that back into the U.S. and, you know, people have more money to keep in the U.S. banks and to also spend, because right now when I do cash out, it's not in the banks in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So you're just making sure that the money that you have, you're making this cycle is money that you're going to be able to keep.
Right.
Which is probably the right way to do it. I'm not going to lie to you, 100%. Is there any narratives or maybe alpha that you can give to people that you've been keeping an eye on? Maybe certain coins or layer ones or anything that you think is potentially going to blow up? I know we talked about Hype and Hyperliquid, and
Yeah.
I think CZ launched Asta, which was another crazy thing. Is there anything else you're maybe like keeping a close eye on that your community?
Yeah.
Like super close on, you know?
So I have zero affiliation with this coin, but I do love Ondo because it's the real world assets narrative. I think that for me is probably my favorite narrative right now. You know, if you asked me that question in 2021, 2022, even though I've kind of, I wouldn't say bashed, but kind of bashed on the gaming coins in 2021, that was my favorite narrative because we were crushing on that, but they didn't produce like game-changing products. So the games were 8-bit. You know, 8 made Dookie Dash, like
Great game.
like high-end gamers are not going to want to play those games. So I think our RWAs is the narrative to go in the upcoming years. And we're starting to see that again with all the stable coins that are being released out in the market. Some of them now are not even pegging it to the dollar, but you know, they're pegging it to bonds or to treasuries, and I think that's the way to go in the next 3-4 years.
Okay, so real world assets is still something that's going to have like a huge future.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a very similar position. I think there's still all the big guys, all JP Morgan, all these banks, you know, BlackRock, they're all talking about real world assets. I think maybe we haven't come to the realization of just how much is going to be tokenized in the years. And I think betting on the coins that are doing that well, like you said, the top value projects is probably the best place to park the capital.
Right.
You know?
And it'll be super interesting to see how they tokenize stocks. Because if they tokenize stocks, you know, the crypto is going to be open on Saturdays and Sundays. And stock trading is not open those days. So, you know, there's room for arbitrage and so on. Plus, these mega banks and the stock market has been open for over a century now. So, I think that migration will be very, very interesting to watch on how they do that. So I think the tokenization of stocks too will be pretty interesting.
I completely agree. Listen, we're at the end of the year, right? Q4. What is the number one best bit of advice you could give the listeners, your community, everybody right now, going into this Q4, considering the last couple of months of price action we've had?
Don't take crazy risks on trades. Risk management is key. 1 to 5% per trade risk can compound so quickly. Back in 2020, my average win was like $200 to $400. My home runs were like 1,000. Fast forward now, it's literally 10x that, like 20 to 40K trades. 100K trades are like my home runs. And we were talking about this last night. Like, we're seeing like record liquidation events over a 3-day dip.
Like a $1,000 down move. We're talking about the world's biggest liquidation event ever.
And you know, that's the other thing is
insane.
Now we're seeing leverage on leverage on leverage. So just manage the risk. The money will come. It's not a rush. Take it step by step. Like, we have so much more to go in this awesome world, man. Like Bitcoin to $1 million, you know, 10, 20 years down the road. Like, don't FOMO. Like, the markets will always be here. It's been here for over a century, and now we're about to see the new market of crypto. Yeah.
So essentially, keep your chips close. Don't lose your head.
Yeah.
And there's a bright future ahead.
Don't get liquidated.
Don't get liquidated. Number one. Listen, guys, make sure you follow Stock Unlocked on Instagram and everywhere. These guys are professionals when it comes to learning how to teach and trade. Artur, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much,
finally
man.
meet you, my
Seriously.
friend. And I can't wait to meet you again and again, my friend.
Of course, man.
Thank you so much, guys. I
Thank you all.
appreciate it.